82% of men over 50 say they crave more time alone, but only 1 in 5 feel understood when they take it. That's not because they're antisocial or bitter or broken. It's because somewhere along the way, silence started to feel like safety. And for a lot of men, that realization hits quietly. You don't announce it, you don't explain it, you just begin to drift. The phone rings, you don't answer. Someone texts, "Want to catch up?" You think about it, but leave it unread. You used to make space for everyone. Now you're just trying to make space for yourself. But here's the truth few people ever say out loud. Solitude, especially after 50, isn't a retreat. It's a recalibration. And needing it doesn't mean something's wrong. It might mean, for the first time, something's right. We grow up believing that being alone is something to be avoided. Don't isolate yourself, they say. Stay busy, stay social, stay young. But what if the most healing part of aging is slowing down? What if this quiet you've started craving isn't loneliness, but clarity? You see, as we get older, the noise outside gets louder. Work, family, expectations. And if we don't stop and listen, truly listen, we forget what our own voice sounds like. So today, we're going to talk about something that too many men ignore. Why peace feels like priority now. Why certain people drain you more than ever. And why choosing quiet doesn't mean giving up on connection. It means demanding a deeper one. There's a man we once spoke to, let's call him James. He's 68, retired engineer, widowed 4 years ago. He told us,
"I used to be afraid of silence. Now I sit in it like a warm bath."
He wasn't avoiding life. He was finally catching up to it. He said something that stuck with us.
"I've spent most of my life explaining myself. I'm tired. I don't want to explain anymore. I just want to feel understood without having to perform."
Does that resonate with you? Because if it does, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. You're not imagining it. People can feel more exhausting now. Even the ones you love. You used to bounce back from social gatherings. Now it takes a day or two. You used to be the rock, the planner, the fixer. Now, just thinking about holding space for everyone else makes this space happening. What's happening? It's called emotional labor. And yes, men carry it too, more than we're allowed to admit. You were raised to be steady, reliable, the man who never drops the ball. But inside, you've dropped the ball so many times, you just stopped talking about it. And here's something most men don't hear enough. It's okay to not want to be everything for everyone anymore. Because somewhere along the way, being strong started to look like being silent. Being needed started to replace being known. Aging isn't just about joints getting stiff or memory slipping. It's about your nervous system evolving. When you were younger, high energy felt normal. Now, it feels invasive. Why? Because your priorities shifted. You're not chasing dopamine anymore. You're chasing peace. It's not that you've stopped caring. It's that you've started caring more selectively. Not every invitation feels worth it. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Not every argument needs your voice. You're not becoming antisocial. You're becoming discerning. Let's talk about what solitude really does to your mind and body. According to research from the University of Rochester, short periods of intentional solitude improve focus, memory retention, and emotional regulation. Your heart rate slows, your cortisol drops, your mind, for once, gets quiet. And that quiet isn't empty, it's full of you. Your thoughts, your memories, your unprocessed feelings. Solitude is where healing finally gets a chance to catch up. Here's what no one tells you about peace. It's not flashy, it's not sexy, but it's powerful. And when you start choosing it over small talk, over shallow validation, over busyness for the sake of looking okay, that's not withdrawal. That's wisdom. So if you've been canceling more plans than usual, if you find joy in the little rituals, making coffee, watering plants, reading in the quiet, if you'd rather sit with your thoughts than fight through noise, you're not disappearing. You're reappearing back to yourself. In the next part of this video, we're going to talk about love after 50, what it looks like when peace becomes your compass, and why real intimacy now feels less like sparks and more like safety. Because after everything you've lived through, you don't need a partner who excites your fears. You need someone who respects your peace. Stay with us. Let's get real about love. Not the kind you see in movies. Not the one that starts fast, burns hot, and leaves you wondering what just happened. We're talking about love after 50, the kind that doesn't ask you to be more exciting. It asks you to be more honest. Because when you reach this stage of life, love changes shape. It softens, it steadies, and above all, it seeks safety. You used to think love was about the chase, big gestures, big risks, big emotions. But now, love looks like someone who listens all the way, who sees you gray hairs, wrinkles, habits, and all, and still leans in. It's not about butterflies. It's about nervous systems syncing. Does your silence feel peaceful or awkward? Does your partner calm your mind or stir it up? That's not just chemistry. That's compatibility at the soul level. We once knew a man, let's call him Thomas, divorced in his 50s, thought he was done with love, until he met someone at his neighborhood cafe. She didn't flirt, didn't dress to impress. She just smiled and asked real questions.
What's something you're proud of that no one really knows?
We said it stopped us cold, because no one had asked us that in years. She wasn't trying to impress us, she was trying to see us. And that became the beginning of everything. We didn't talk every day. We didn't text all night. But when we were together, it felt like rest. That's the shift that happens after 50. Love becomes less about excitement and more about alignment. Do your values match? Do you honor each other's boundaries? Can you sit in the same room doing nothing and still feel connected? Because let's be honest by now, you've seen enough to know. Big emotions aren't always healthy. Loud love doesn't always last. And what starts fast often crashes just as quickly. What you want now is someone who lets you breathe. So how do you know if the love you're in or the one you're attracting is real? Here are 3 quiet signs it's built on truth, not illusion. Sign number 1. You don't have to shrink to keep the peace. You've spent enough time in relationships where you tiptoed, held your tongue, hid parts of yourself. Now, you want peace, but not at the cost of your identity. If you can speak up, disagree, share your truth, and still be loved, that's not drama, that's intimacy. Sometimes, it starts with something simple, just saying what you want clearly, calmly, without trying to control the outcome. Not demanding, not performing, just naming it. And when you speak from that place without expectation, without needing a guarantee, you'll be surprised by what shows up. Because maybe the life you have now is made of things you once quietly wished for. So ask yourself, do you see how much of what surrounds you is something you once deeply wanted? Not everything comes when or how we imagined, but sometimes speaking your truth without grasping is what opens the door to the life that's been waiting for you. Sign number 2, your calm is protected, not interrupted. You've worked hard to build a life free of chaos. So when someone walks in, you observe, do they preserve your calm or disrupt it? The right person won't just respect your quiet moments, they'll be there for you. No talking, no doing, just be there fully. No matter the context, we may respond differently, but one thing remains true. Interacting with others is an essential part of life. When you open yourself up to positive images of others, you not only demonstrate inner peace, you become someone others want to be around. And in doing so, you create value for them and for yourself. Sign number 3, you feel seen, not just needed. Being useful isn't the same as being loved. You've carried others, fixed things, held space. You've been dependable often without being truly noticed. But now, you want something deeper. Someone who looks at you and sees more than what you do. They see who you are. Someone who doesn't just ask how your day was, but asks how your heart is. Because real connection isn't built on roles. It's built on recognition. And here's the quiet truth. You are not defined by what you own. You are shaped by what you give. Not gifts, but presence, kindness, patience. Those are the things that linger. Those are the things that speak when words fall short. In the end, you are the energy you offer. And when someone sees that, truly sees it, you no longer feel used. You feel valued. One man once told,
When I was younger, I thought love was about completing someone. But now I realize it's about choosing someone who's already whole.
That's the wisdom time brings. You don't want to fix anyone, and you don't want to be someone else's project. You want a partner, not a puzzle. And if you're still waiting for love, maybe it's already waiting for this version of you. The calmer one, the clearer one. The man who knows what peace feels like and refuses to trade it. In the final part of this video, we'll talk about something many men struggle with silently. Who holds space for you? Because for years, maybe decades, you've been the one who holds everyone else. But now, you're allowed to ask, where do I rest? And the answer to that question may change how you see yourself forever. Stay with us. After 50, everything gets quieter. Not because life has slowed down, but because you have. Not in your body, not in your ambition, but in your spirit. That deep place inside you that no longer wants to prove anything to anyone. You start choosing peace over noise, clarity over chaos, stillness over struggle. And for the first time in a long time, you wonder, who holds that space for me? You were the strong one, the planner, the provider, the one who kept calm even when things were falling apart inside. You said it's okay when it wasn't. You stayed silent to keep the peace. You smiled when what you really needed was space. But now you're tired, not angry, not resentful, just tired. Because emotional labor doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a man carrying everything and saying nothing. You did the right thing. You showed up. You stayed. You kept being the rock. But even rocks crack under pressure. Even steady men need a place to lean. And that doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. So let me ask you gently, when was the last time someone held space for you? Not fixed you, not depended on you, just sat with you as you are? That's what real connection looks like now. It's not about being needed. It's about being met with presence, with peace, with permission to just be. You don't want intensity anymore. You want intimacy, the kind that says, you don't have to impress me. You can just arrive. When you were younger, love felt like fire. Hot, unpredictable. It came fast and left just as fast. Now love feels different. It feels like a calm voice that softens your edges, a quiet room that still feels full, a woman who honors your peace, not tests your limits. You don't ask, is she into me? You ask, is she emotionally present? You don't chase the butterflies. You seek the quiet knowing. Because real love at this stage isn't found in sparks. It's found in presence. Here's something no one told you when you were younger. Love doesn't always speak in words. Sometimes it shows up as stillness. Two people sitting in silence. Not awkward, not empty. Just full of something neither of them has to name. Because when a woman makes room for your calm and you make room for hers, that's not just a relationship. That's a safe home. So if you find yourself wanting less of the world, if you crave deeper conversations and simpler joys, if your favorite part of the day is the moment everything slows down, you're not disappearing, you're realigning. And when someone finally sees that in you, when she doesn't interrupt your peace, but joins you in it, you'll feel it in your body before you ever say a word. Because love after 50 isn't about being completed, it's about being respected and chosen deliberately, quietly, fully. Maybe that's the deeper lesson here. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to return to the man you've always been, before the noise, before the pressure, before the pretending. A man who leads with warmth, who listens with presence, who protects his energy like it matters because it does. And when you live like that, she'll see it. Not the loud you, not the busy you, but the clear you. The man who doesn't chase chaos because he's already found what's real. If this message spoke to you, take a breath. You've earned your peace. You've earned the right to rest. And if love is meant for you now, it won't demand your noise. It will recognize your quiet. So if you're ready to live slower, feel deeper, and connect in a way that honors the man you've become, subscribe and join us here on Timeless Wisdom. Because peace isn't just a feeling, it's a practice, and you deserve to live it fully.